Hey everyone, how to continue selling on Amazon Germany? What's this F22 certificate all about? My name is Christoph, I'm the co-founder at hellotax, and 1st of October is very near. It might be that you have already received several messages by Amazon to upload the so-called F22 or VAT certificate to your Amazon account to continue selling on Amazon. That's why I thought I make a little recap video and we talk again about what's this F22 all about, why do you even need it, why are German authorities so keen about having this document, and yeah, how to basically continue selling on one of the biggest Amazon marketplaces in the European Union or even worldwide. Okay, so let's start right into it. We talk shortly about what is this VAT law all about today. We will talk about two ways on how you can continue selling on Amazon Germany. We talk about how you can actually apply for the F22 certificate, probably a very, very important step for most of you. And we will go through more or less one of the most important questions that I got asked over the course of the last weeks. And yeah, if you have any more questions, any more you would like to know, just post a comment below and I will try to answer it right after. Thank you. So, the new German VAT law. What is it and why you should care? First of all, the VAT law, it's existing since 2019, so it's a very new law. And as you may have heard, VAT is one of the main taxes where a lot of tax evasion, a lot of tax VAT fraud is happening. And the German authorities, they thought, okay, let's try to solve this in a way by making the marketplaces, Amazon, eBay, whatever they are called, making them liable for all the unpaid VAT that the sellers that use those marketplaces are not paying. And obviously, as you may imagine, Amazon and other companies, they wouldn't like to be liable for VAT because we're talking here about billions of euros. And what they did is saying, okay, there must be a way to confirm that a seller is tax compliant to avoid this liability. So the German authorities said, okay, why not? We will issue a certificate, which is called F22 certificate, that will confirm to a seller, as well as to the marketplace, that the tax authorities confirm to the marketplace that this seller is tax compliant. Okay? So basically, there is no change in the way how VAT itself is working. It's still the same way, you register for VAT, you have to pay VAT yourself. The marketplace doesn't do anything about it. The only difference is now that in order to free Amazon from that liability, you have to give them that certificate that you first received from the tax authority. We will come to that later on, where I will show you what's the process of applying for it. But basically, that's the way how Amazon is not or continues to not being liable. And that's the reason why they are really, really pushing on getting that document from your site. And the tax authorities, they issued two deadlines. There is the deadline for non-European companies, which was 1st of March, which is passed already some time ago, as well as the next deadline, which is the 1st of October for any EU company. So any company based in the European Union, UK, France, Italy, even Germany themselves, so even this applies for German companies, any of those companies that their deadline is the 1st of October. So it's almost there, or at the time you might watch this video, 1st of October has already passed. And what we have seen is that basically a lot of companies that have not uploaded their F22 certificate by 1st of March, a lot of non-EU companies, their Amazon account was simply blocked because even though Amazon would like to make a lot of money on that marketplace with those sellers, but being liable for VAT and being liable for VAT fraud is actually even a too big risk for Amazon. And basically, there is a special way, which is something we talk about a little later. Amazon has a special way of interpreting who needs to upload that F22 certificate. So, and I can tell you up front already, Amazon is really, really strict on people who have to upload that certificate, even though that by law you might not even need it. But we get to that point later on. So basically, there is two ways to actually continue selling on Amazon. And this is, in my opinion, a very, very important factor, because Amazon Germany is one of the, if not the biggest marketplace in the European Union. With 82 million inhabitants, this means that's a huge market potential. And I guess no seller would like to really exclude that market. So continuing to sell on Amazon in a compliant way, in my opinion, is one of the most important factors for a healthy business, for a healthy expansion of your company. So let's make a little recap on how VAT works actually. And basically there are two simple reasons on why you have to get registered for a VAT number in a certain country. Either you're storing in that country using an FBA warehouse, or you exceed the threshold limit, distance selling threshold limit, which means you're selling more than 100k of goods within 1 year to German customers. Okay, those are the only two reasons on why you have to get registered. Okay, and as you see in parallel, by having a reason to get registered, you start the VAT registration process first of all, so that you receive a VAT number. Only if you have a VAT number, you can actually apply separately to the F22 certificate. That means you do not get an F22 certificate without a VAT number. It's simply impossible, okay? And as said, we will come to that on why Amazon might even ask you for an F22 certificate even if you're below the threshold limit and even if you're not storing in Germany. But overall, these are the only two ways to continue selling on Amazon. In a previous video, I have shown that there might be a third way, which is basically applying or signing a certain document that I have linked at that time and send it over to Amazon. And it turned out that it worked in some cases, but in most of the cases, Amazon was just simply too strict. They followed their procedures, and these are really the only two ways to continue selling on Amazon. If you would not like to continue selling on Amazon, sure, you can just disable the marketplace and you can continue selling in other countries. That's not a problem. But to continue, you have to either store in Germany or exceed the threshold. Okay? Next, you get the VAT registration. Then you can apply for the F22 certificate. And once you get that certificate, you can actually upload it to your marketplace. And then Amazon will enable your account again. Now, how to apply for the F22 certificate step by step. So, first of all, as we said, you have to make sure that you get your VAT certificate and you actually receive it with the proper validity date. What does this mean? A validity date is basically the date on a certificate that tells you from when you're liable for VAT. That does mean that if you have been storing in Germany for a long time ago, you need to backdate that number. You need to set the date from when you really first stored in that country and first exceeded that threshold. Authorities will really approve this by getting back to Amazon, taking a look at all your sales data and comparing if what you have applied for is fitting to the numbers in your Amazon account. That's very important. Next, once you have that certificate, and let me make one step back here, like as a 0.0, so to say, I can only repeat once again, the only way to get a VAT certificate is by either storing or exceeding the threshold limit, which for most people, I assume storage is the way to go. So that means you do not get a certificate just simply on a voluntarily basis, so that you say, I just want to have a number, even though I don't even have a reason to have a number in Germany. So the authorities, they will precisely ask you, are you storing in Germany or have you exceeded the threshold? And if you're telling them no or cannot prove it, you will simply not get that certificate, okay? Once you have that certificate, then you actually have to fill this UST1TJ form, okay, which is a form I can link below, and you're just filling it with your details, your VAT number, your company details. It's pretty simple. And then you have to send it by email or post to the tax authority that is written on your VAT certificate. So very important in Germany, every country where your company is based is linked to a special authority in Germany. So it's very important to not just send it to Berlin if your tax authority is in Munich, because they will just throw it in the bin and you will never receive the F22 certificate. So make sure to take a look at your VAT certificate. On the top right corner, they normally show you that's your authority, and you can just Google their email address, or you can send it by fax, or you can just send it to them by post. In the end, it doesn't matter the way, but most important is to send it to your tax authority. Then, normally about 2 to 3 weeks after, you simply receive the F22 by post. As we have done this for several sellers already, it might have happened sometimes that authorities got back and say, hey, can you show me this? Can you show me that? Because basically what they do is they are doing like a little audit. They are trying to take a look at your Amazon account, at all your sales data, and trying to understand, is it really okay what the seller is doing? Can I confirm to him by giving him that F22 certificate that he is actually tax compliant? And once you receive it, it's a very simple step. You just click on your marketplace. Mostly they have a link in Seller Central, for example, and you just upload that certificate. And a few days later, even if your account has been blocked, a few days later you just get unblocked again, and you can continue selling on that marketplace. Very important, that certificate itself, it has an expiration date on it, which is 6 months, but it's basically just 6 months from the moment you receive it that you can upload it to that marketplace account. Because Amazon, once you have uploaded, is basically giving back that certificate to the German authorities. That's how the loop, so to say, is closed. And for this process, you got 6 months. But overall, once you have uploaded it, you do not have to renew it every 6 months or every year. At least that's the status quo for the moment. So probably this will just stay forever and your account will just be enabled forever. And now I want to get to one very important question that I got asked very, very often, okay? I am below the threshold and I do not intend to store in Germany. Why is Amazon still asking for that F22 certificate? So as I told you, Amazon is getting liable. And by getting liable, it simply means that you as a seller, you have to prove to Amazon that you are really, really, really tax compliant so that Amazon can prove this to the tax authorities. The problem is, storage in Germany is very simple for Amazon to figure out. You may think, right? However, storage of FBA, so using the Amazon FBA warehouse, sure, that's an easy term for Amazon. They just check their systems and they know, okay, you're storing in Germany. But Amazon does not know if you may be storing in a separate warehouse in Germany. Why not, But Amazon would still be liable, not only for their own FBA transactions, but for every transaction you make. And at the same end, it's the same topic when it comes to the threshold, right? How can you prove to Amazon that you are really below the threshold? Because imagine, sure, again, Amazon sales data, it's very easy for Amazon to know. But how do they know how your sales on eBay, how your sales on your website, how all of these are combined, how they look like? So basically, Amazon has here a problem that they cannot really prove on what is your real threshold. Are you really storing in Germany? They just know the Amazon side of it, but overall your company doesn't necessarily have the Amazon point of view. It has various sales channels that you might be using. So Amazon thought, let's go the easy way. Let's just simply say, if you're not getting that certificate, which frees me from being liable, I simply have to block you from that account, because it's the only way that I can really believe you. Because imagine there might be a lot of sellers that are trying to still evade VAT, and they will just go to Amazon and say, yes, I'm below the threshold. Yes, I'm not storing in Germany. So that's the reason why Amazon is asking basically everyone that wants to continue selling in Germany to apply for the F22 certificate, which also gives them another advantage. As I told you, the only reason to get an F22 certificate and therefore to continue selling in Germany is to apply for a VAT number. And the only way you get a VAT number is by either being above the threshold or storing in Germany. And now let's think again, right? Storing in Germany, which is probably the way to go for most sellers, right? That's basically also an interest for Amazon, right? They want you to store in as many countries as possible. They want you to use their FBA warehouses all across the European Union in the best possible way, even using Amazon Pan-EU. So that means basically by going that route of really being strict and asking everyone for the F22 certificate, at the same time they are like forcing a lot of people that have not intended to store in Germany to actually now use the FBA warehouses in Germany, which is a great advantage for the customer and therefore also for Amazon. So for Amazon, this bureaucratic process of applying for the F22 certificate and being liable, they turned it into an advantage to actually force more and more people to store in Germany, and maybe then thereafter to go for Pan-EU and other storage options all across the European Union. So once again, I want to really remind you, 1st of October, deadline is very, very near. Your account may be blocked. The application process just for the F22 takes at least 2 weeks. For the VAT certificate, it might take another month. So if you haven't yet applied for a VAT certificate or F22 certificate, make sure to do it if you want to continue selling in Germany. There is no other way of doing that. I can only remind you, maybe go the way of storing in Germany, because in my opinion, going for the German marketplace versus just simply letting Amazon block that marketplace, I don't think it's worth it. It's worth that effort. So I can really only encourage you to try to get that F22 certificate yourself, or get some help by someone like us at hellotax, and stay compliant in the European Union. I hope this video was helpful. Once again, if you have any questions, anything I didn't answer yet, just leave a comment below and I will try to answer it over the course of the next days. Thank you.